Hey guys, this is SolidWorks Crew. Today we're gonna have a look at some common SolidWorks beginners mistakes. Alright, let's dive into it. Alright, so first common mistake beginners make is basically underdefined. So what's underdefined? So let's just have a look at it. So I'm gonna grab the front plane and I'm just gonna create a rectangle. And I'm just gonna define the 1.5 inch on the left line, and then the top side I'm just gonna skip it and then just exit the sketch. There will be a lot of cases actually we do just because actually like we are kind of forgetting to just put the dimension on the top or bottom side. So as you can see in the feature tree over here, so there is a the minus mark created right beside the sketch tree, the name. So what it indicates is just this sketch is underdefined. It's not perfect sketch, just because the top or just bottom line doesn't really have a kind of dimension. So the way we can just like remove that minus mark is go to the edit sketch and then make sure this dimension should have a proper dimension from us. So we can just put the dimension over here and then just assign 2.5, and then as you can see everything is just turning into black. That's exactly what we want to see from any kind of sketch. Okay. Alright, the second common mistake beginners make is improper use of features. So especially when you want to create something simple kind of O-ring design, so like one of the most common mistake beginners make is they strongly rely on using extrude boss and base instead of using other features, because actually boss is just definitely the most commonly used, and then that could be also design almost everything. However, let's just have a look at it. So for example, so let's just create a one circle, and I'm just gonna offset here to 1 inch, and then I'm gonna actually extrude to 1 inch basically. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a the fillet. Go to the next one, and then I'm gonna do one more time fillet basically to apply on the bottom side as well. I mean, actually, this is actually also an O-ring design, but if you're having a look at actually the number of the feature, I'm just gonna actually just delete this one, and then I'm gonna actually try the other method basically. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a one reference line, and then we don't really have to assign this dimension, but just a little bit better. So from here, what I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna create a circle here, and I'm just gonna do the like same. Then assign those to the center point by 1 inch. But that's gonna be actually just too small. Alright, and then I'm just gonna assign this center to the origin, just horizontal relation. So make sure actually this is just not moving up and down. And then what I'm gonna do is basically go to the reverb. So I mean actually just like this is a little bit actually just like kind of thicker. You can also simply just adjust the sizes by just 1 inch. Yeah, so we can simply just creating by one feature versus 3 different features. So I just don't want you to just create redundant or just like more kind of features, because by creating just only one feature you cannot achieve the same thing. So you can just simply go with actually just one kind of feature item compared to the 3 feature item. All right. Third problem is I will create a box for now. So I'm just gonna create a center rectangle. So I'm just gonna assign 2 inch by 2 inch, and then I'm gonna actually extrude it by 2 inch by base plane. Yeah, so I mean it's really okay to just remain as this sharp corner, but realistically this sharp corner is not supposed to be happen for any kind of design, just because it's almost impossible to achieve this type of sharp corner in realistic manufacturing process. So we have to make sure not forgetting either chamfer or fillet, so something like this. So we have to just make sure assign fillet for any kind of corner. So this sharp corner not only actually just like achievable, but also actually has to be think about the assembly or just like, you know, any kind of like assemblers just not getting cut by actually just touching this sharp corner. So that's why actually you have to make sure just apply the fillet for any kind of corner. So you can just apply 0.125. Yeah, so this is actually more realistic actually for the machining process. So don't forget to just apply either chamfer or fillet, so just keep that in mind. Alright, the next common mistake is, I'll say this is actually one of the biggest time waste, I'll say. So for the beginner, I mean, actually it's so hard to actually utilize so many different types of, you know, shortcut. But as you can see from my sketch perspective, once you press S and then you create this type of shortcut button, and also not only those, you know, the customized shortcut button, you will also be able to create, you will also be able to search anything from here. So for example, if you're looking for the extrude, so this is the sketch mode, so you can probably just find actually the circle, and then that's going to be showing, and then you can also just convert entities, and then that's going to be showing right away. I mean, actually this is okay to search from here, like basically doing the same thing, but the reason actually the SolidWorks implemented like, you know, search box in the shortcut, you know, area is you don't even have to just like go all the way and then just moving up and down, right? Because like even actually that moving up and down doesn't seem a lot, but that's accumulating a lot actually if you keep doing a repetitive task. And then if you want to actually just customize a like shortcut box like this, and then you can go to this, you know, the option button, and then right beside there the down arrow, you can click it, and then goes to the customize, and then there is a shortcut box, shortcut bars, and then you can go there, and then there's a 4 different types of, you know, shortcut box you can create it. So first one is the, you know, the part. So as you can see, I'll assign just suppress, unsuppress, and meter linear pattern. Those kind of things is just my most commonly used. And also if you go to the assembly, and then there's some mating, you know, replace, all those kind of things pre-assigned by me. And also for the drawing, there's a lot of actually just like, you know, things that I use a lot, and even for the sketch, you know, so there's a kind of filter option, and then some other actually, you know, the sketch tools. So I'm just asking you to not put it out all together like kind of same format, but just what I'm asking you is, if you just keep thinking actually, oh, for example, if you're using the line item so many times, almost like 50 or 60% of your design process, then I totally recommend you actually just putting a shortcut in a kind of button inside the like shortcut bar by pressing the S, and then make sure just like, you know, just create, you know, the press the line button right away. And also the other, my biggest recommendation is make sure just utilize the shortcut button. So go to the customizer one more time, and then instead of actually going to the shortcut bars, for this time actually I just want you to go to the keyboard, and then for example if you are using a line a lot, and then you can just search line, and if you scroll down a little bit, there's a line pre-assigned for L. So make sure just use L. So if you press L, yeah, it directly just go into the like line button. So I just wanted to utilize this, a lot of shortcut buttons you can just like easily remember. And then another tip from me, especially when you're assigning, you know, any kind of shortcut, it really depends on your preference, but for me, I think it works pretty well. So like line actually starts from L, right? So I normally actually try to assign line for L button. Basically press L, and then even for the circle, it's just like starting from C, so I just normally assign C. Yeah, so something like this. Yeah, how fast it is. So yeah, try to make sure you're using like, you know, as much like shortcut button as possible, so they could actually save a ton of time. The next common mistake is, especially when it comes to assembly, just not using the proper mating is one of the most common problems. So for example, I'm gonna actually just like delete a relation. Yeah, so for example, we want to actually just make a kind of mating relation from this part to this part, but if you just want to actually just like fully define this mating so that is just in a fixed state, there's a lot of cases I saw actually they use just right click this part and then press a fix button, and then this is not moving. However, this fixed state is not a good, you know, practice. This is just temporarily fix the kind of part, but if you actually just check the angle, basically, and then that's just showing almost like a decimal number of the angle, which is not the nominal number, which is not really great practice we can do. So always make sure not try to use kind of fix or float. Just because actually we are having a fix is just temporarily you can fix in order to just assign a specific kind of mating. That's just like kind of in a better way, but just to basically just fix and then not actually just coming back to just assign the proper mating is not really good practice. So always make sure just apply this mating properly. So basically apply the 145 angle. So even actually just a nominal number, so when somebody is just asking which degree it is, and then you can confidently say, oh, this is 145 degree, just from the top face to the top face of other mating part. Okay, the next common mistake regarding drawings is the annotation. So annotation is just, it could be anything, but one of the most annotation we are indicating is just top view or just front view or any other view actually that has the notes for each view. So that actually indicating actually this view is basically the top view. But one thing I want to actually mention to you is basically this left view of just this annotation is going to follow along by moving this location. However, if you're having a look at the top view and I try to just move up, this annotation is just not following along with this. The reason behind it is if you click this bounding box, you can see those yellow orange just bounding box turning into just blue. That is just indicating this is the bounding box. So especially when it comes to creating a notes, for example, so let me actually just like grab a notes here, and then you shouldn't put the notes anywhere unless you're gonna put some kind of like general notes on the top left corner or just anywhere else. But you want to actually just assign a top view for this boundary area, so it could be actually just follow along. And so if you just assign this one and then assign top view, and then what that's gonna do is if you just move it up, it's gonna be just follow along, right? So this is actually one of the most common mistakes. So especially when you are actually just like rescaling, that's gonna be even easier for you to just like easily adjust the location of just top view or just any kind of annotation. On top of that, you don't necessarily just put the notes in order to just create a specific view kind of annotation. But if you right click that bounding box area, and then there is a add view label. So add view label is it's gonna create some type of like notes bounding box area. So if you double click it, and then you can just assign top view. This is also gonna do the same thing, but that is already actually just like locating inside this bounding box area, so it could be even easier. So there's two ways you can utilize, but whichever you prefer, you can just like go with it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on the most common SolidWorks beginner's mistake. I hope this has provided you with a valuable insights that will help you avoid these pitfalls as you continue your journey in mastering SolidWorks. Remember, making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, but recognizing and correcting them is what will truly set you apart. As you practice and become more familiar with the software, these challenges will become opportunities for your growth, leading you to more efficient and precise design. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more tips and tutorials and in-depth guides. Feel free to leave a comment below with any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the future videos. And if your feedback is crucial in helping me create content that you truly benefit you. Keep pushing in your boundaries, stay curious, and never hesitate to explore the full potential of SolidWorks. Together, we can turn this common mistake into stepping stones on the path to becoming a SolidWorks expert. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.